I am pleased to announce our next speaker, which is Rajat Bhattacharya from ABB Electrification. Rajat is responsible of digital commerce, and he will be presenting the configuration solution and adoption of configuration and how you can use the configuration platform to help decrease your time to market and improve sales effectivity. Unfortunately, Rajat is not available in a live presentation, but we managed to do a pre-recording for his presentation, and that's what we're going to run now. This, of course, means that we will not be able to ask any questions afterwards, but at least we will have a very interesting presentation from Rajat Bhattacharya.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Rajat Bhattacharya from ABB Electrification, speaking from Zurich, Switzerland. In my current role, I'm the digital commerce leader for ABB Electrification, and I'm happy to be in this event and thank Configit for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to speak to you all about our experiences in implementing our configuration platform using Configit technologies. Today, we are going to speak about how we established a global configuration platform for ABB Electrification that helped us decrease our time to market for new product introductions, for example, and it really helped us improve our sales effectiveness. So before I get into the details of that, maybe I spend just a few minutes talking about ABB. If you know ABB is a technology leader in electrification and automation. We operate in more than 100 countries. Last year, we made revenues of close to $30 billion, more than 100,000 employees. And let's say we are operating in all the three big regions of the world, which is Europe, North and South America, and Asia, Middle East, and Africa, with about 1/3 of our total revenues coming from each of these regions. We are mainly focused on motion and power, and this is what where we are present in terms of our product, services, and solutions. So, just moving on very quickly here to the next slide. If you look at ABB, we are organized in 4 different business areas, which respectively are, as you see on the left side, electrification, motion, process automation, and robotics and discrete automation. The first one is electrification, which I represent, which has to do more with power, and the remaining 3 have to do more with automation. Now, though we operate in 4 different business areas, in reality, the company operates through 20 different divisions that are grouped inside these 4 business areas. So as you can see, electrification, which I represent, has about 6 different divisions, which is focused on products and solutions and services. And this is by far the biggest, let's say, part of ABB, both in terms of people, revenues, product portfolio, whichever way you might see it. And this is where we're going to focus on today in terms of how we implemented our configuration solutions. Here, just to give you some numbers, out of the close to 30 billion that ABB does in revenues, electrification accounts for close to half of that, like 14.1 billion last year, and also about half of the employees, right? So 52,000 employees out of the overall 100,000 employees of ABB. If you think of electrification, you could think about we do everything that is coming between the substation that is there in your neighborhood into the socket on your wall. So every kind of products you could think there, even in your home in terms of home automation would be, you might have seen or you will see an ABB product in different countries that you might go to. So that was a very quick introduction about ABB. Coming to today's presentation or today's talk, there is an abstract that you might have seen. So what we're going to talk about very quickly is the kind of challenges we face as electrification business area due to our complex supply chain, due to our distributed systems and process landscape, and how and also the different e-commerce channels that we have to serve with our customers. And looking at these challenges, how we have made use of Configit's CLM solutions to build up like responsive solutions for our customers, which helps enable self-service for them, but also enables us to make our operations more efficient and optimized, and gives us a lot of benefits. So with that, I'll just jump to the first main slide, getting into this topic. Here, what I want to say is that this picture depicts how electrification is working. So this is our internal supply chain, and if you go from the left to the right side, it shows how our products are getting engineered, built, and then distributed and sold to our end customers. So we have our design centers. These are our R&D centers, which are creating the new products, engineering the new products. We have like factories in, I think we have more than 105 factories all across the world, which are then manufacturing these products. We have distribution centers in different regions of the world and also in many countries. And then basically sold into more than 100 countries actually. And then when you look at our customers, they could be many different kinds of customers. So it could be distributors, it could be OEMs, it could be panel builders, it could be the end users who are buying from the distributors, for example, installers, etc., etc. So basically, just to give you some figures here, we are creating products which are in size ranging from 1 centimeter for a small relay to 100 meters, which is for an e-house, for example. And these products cover all kinds of, let's say, all kinds of products in terms of like make to stock products, configure to order, design to order, engineer to order. So from products to solutions to services, as I said. If you look at in terms of SKUs, we are delivering more than 1.7 million products per day. So I'm just trying to give you a sense of the complexity that we have and how much information we have to maintain in this whole supply chain, and with a lot of internal trade also. And all the time we have to ensure that we are talking about accurate configurations, accurate pricing, accurate availability information, and that's a big challenge for us. Now, in this slide, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to relate the picture that I showed in the last slide, which was showing the complexity of our supply chain, to the complexity of our underlying process and system landscape. So again, if you, in fact, go from left to right, you will see that our design centers are using like PLM systems. Thankfully, a one PLM system for the whole of electrification. But we do have a lot of different CAD systems where products are defined in terms of 2D, 3D, whatever be the case. But we really have a big complexity in terms of our ERPs, SAP systems. We have more than 50 SAP systems. Many countries have their own SAP because they are designed as per financial and legal requirements. And if you go from left to right, you'll see that across the PLM, consolidated PLM and multiple ERPs, you have to carry the configuration knowledge or configuration information. So from engineering configurators to manufacturing configurators to sales configurators. And basically, sitting on top of that, you'll see we have our solutions that we need to serve our customers. So e-business solutions, which are like ABB's own solutions, where our distributors or panel builders can order, quote and order things with us. But also like e-commerce solutions, like marketplaces, etc. So our sales configurators have to, in many cases, actually be exposed into these kind of e-business and e-commerce solutions, be embedded in them. So we have to maintain this, we have to take care of this complexity of the supply chain as well as the systems and process landscape, but then ensure that all our data remains, there is integrity of the data is correct, and we never run into like inaccurate configurations, etc., etc. So this is just another view that I wanted to show you. Now, if we focus now on the customers, which was on the right side of the last two slides, you have to appreciate that we also have to serve them through different channels. And if we look at this, typically we look at it in terms of three pillars as shown in the slide. So first we have the demand generation pillar, where through our configure price code systems, we we get leads, opportunities, which some of them become quotes, and then some of them get turned to orders, for example. So this is the whole sales funnel. And then we have the sell-in, where we are selling directly to our customers through our own e-business solutions. I have noted some of them here, like Empower or Seaball. There are links also if you are interested in the footer. And then we have the whole sell-out part as well, where we are trying to reach also in the new way of doing business to our end users or customers of our direct customers. So in some cases, we are actually helping our distributors, customers to sell our products through their web shops, in which case we have to make our sales configurators available to them. So I have listed some big distributors like Granger, Excel, or Sonepar. In some markets, we are actually exposing our configurators and data through standard protocols like ETIM. So there's this L-Bridge solution in the German market, for example. But also, I mean, we have our own marketplaces and third-party marketplaces, and intention is that as long as we are not affecting the business of our direct customers, like our distributors, if we can do additional sales there, we will do that. And for all these things, we need sales configurators, which is what is shown in the bottom part of the slide. Now, with that, let's say, introduction into our complexity in terms of supply chain, in terms of process and systems landscape, and in terms of the different e-commerce channels that we have, I would just come to this. Slide where we're talking about, actually, I use the word sales configurator a number of times. So what do we mean by sales configurator? So basically, what we are looking at is we are looking at solutions that help our customers, internal, external, all kinds of customers, to discover, select, and configure our products across our entire portfolio, which is like a huge portfolio, as I just mentioned in the beginning. And within that, we talk about two different things. We talk about product configuration, which means we are configuring a specific sellable product like a circuit breaker, which we accessorize, etc., or a solution where we actually bundle technically, as per electrical standards, different products so that it becomes a solution, like a switch board or a panel board or a switch gear, for example. For this, we have a web, for example, then lands up into a solution configurator, which is an enclosure configurator. So basically, based on the electrical line diagrams, the customer or the user creates an enclosure, and then in that enclosure, he adds or selects products like circuit breakers. And for that, he goes to e-configure devices. So these are solutions that have been there for us for quite some time now, built on Configit technologies since 2014-15, I would say. So a very, very long and successful journey with Configit, using their previous versions of the products, which were called Build and Model. And we want to now port them into ACE, which is the next generation technology coming from Configit. Now, this is a very busy slide, but I would just dive in a little bit here for a few minutes or a few seconds, if you allow me. So if you relate it to the previous slide, we were talking about product configuration, and I mentioned e-configure devices. So if we zoom in into e-configure devices, I would say that, as I also mentioned before, since 2014, 2015, we have implemented more than 200 different configurators and selectors using Configit technology, especially in the area of e-configure devices only, and more so in e-configure enclosures as well. But here in this picture, what I want to show you is that if you look at the bottom, we have the situation with our multiple ERPs per country, more than 50 ERPs. But on top of that, we have been able to build a configuration platform, which is for a very large part, let's say, standard, common, consistent across the world, across our sales sites, sales countries, which are more than 100, across our manufacturing footprint, which is more than 100 factories, et cetera, et cetera. So how have we done that? So here, if you see, there is a color coding, which is shown in the footer. So the light pink basically is showing everything that we have done established in a common, consistent, standard way across the world. So whether it's a UI or a configurator engine, which is exposed through APIs for use by our different e-commerce channels, but also the way we actually pull our material data and also like the configuration rules and models, etc. So what you see in the black boxes in this picture are where we have used Configit technologies to establish common standard solutions. So whether it's for material information or whether it's for pricing information, etc., etc. So in this whole picture, you can see that certain things like material data, the configuration rules, these are really global, common standard. Whereas things which need to be local, like pricing, because pricing is per country or market based, here we are able to deal with it in a way that we have a country standard. And then there are still some other things where we allow even a use case based customization. So it's a very nice uh, compromise between what you can do globally and what you can do locally, utilizing the capabilities given to us by Configit products. And here I have also mentioned, as you see, other than the standard extractors and solutions from Configit, also the VTZ, or the virtual tabulation technology that we use very extensively to actually manage our configuration models. And this is the key to what we have established over the last 8 to 9 years. This is what has been working for us very well. And this is what we have really scaled across a very large business, as I have mentioned. Coming to the last slide of my very short and quick presentation, I would say what are the benefits that we have realized and we continue to realize over this long period of time. First of all, we reduced our time to market. So whenever we engineer a new product and we want to launch it in 100 different markets, of course, we will not be able to sell those products if we don't have configurators for them. Configurators which are allowing for valid configurations, giving accurate pricing, etc., etc. So our whole time to market for new products has reduced since we were implementing these configurators with Configit technology. Second biggest point, for our customers, we enable them, we empower them. They can do self-service when they are requesting quotes from us or ordering from us in terms of how they can select and configure our products and solutions. So empowering the customers, improving their experience, increasing customer satisfaction, that's a big benefit. Third point, which is very important for us, is like we have a very diverse portfolio, we have a very complicated portfolio, but utilizing the Configit technology and the platform that we have established, as I showed in the last slide, we have been able to cover our full portfolio and bring it to our customers so that they can do their selection and configuration activities across the full ABB Electrification portfolio. In terms of the supply chain, which I just referred to in the beginning, what this platform has allowed us to do is like all through the supply chain, from the customer till back to the manufacturing units, we always ensure that the configuration data, the configurations, the bill of materials, the product selections remain valid. We never get into a situation that a customer has come to a sales bomb which we cannot manufacture, for example, or things like this. So this actually saves a lot of cost, because we had like quality issues or cost of poor quality after implementation of this configurator. And as we go along, this has reduced, this has come down quite a lot. And lastly, by doing all this, we have also reduced a lot our sales support costs. So we don't need like people to help customers to do configurations or correct configuration mistakes or create a bill of material into ERP systems. All this is automatically done, self-service. So this has really helped us reduce our sales support costs. So that was in a sense what I wanted to quickly share with you in terms of how we have utilized Configit technologies to establish a global configuration platform over a period of 8-9 years, and we continue investing into it. We want to go to the newer versions of the product like Configit Ace in the next year, starting from 2024. But overall, it has been a very successful journey with a lot of benefits realized, as I just quickly showed you. If you want further information or want to exchange your experiences on implementing configuration solutions, please feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you for listening to me, and thanks to Configit for giving me the opportunity.